Your iPhone camera is ruining your photos, and I know this because it did it to mine too. Have you ever looked at your photos taken on your iPhone and you're like, why do these look like trash? Like, it looked better when I took it. I took the photo and then it showed up in my photos and suddenly it looks worse than when I took it. Why is this? Does Apple hate me? Should I switch to Android? Maybe don't do that. But this is what happened, how I fixed it. See, with the iPhone camera, there's something called HDR, high dynamic range. Now, this is usually like a photo technique to take the bright parts, like say the window behind me, and the dark parts, like my shirt and my jacket, and bring them to a similar level. However, with computational photography, what it will sometimes do is take that and try to equalize it in a really weird way, where suddenly the window is the same brightness level as my jacket, which they're not meant to be. And then this leads it to being washed out and pixelated and weird. Like my skin will get all washed out because of it. And when I say washed out, I mean it's just like desaturated. I look weird. I look paler than usual, which says something. It just doesn't look great. It looks like your iPhone ruined your photos. You have a little halo around you, and it just doesn't look good. I don't like it. I've never heard anybody go, oh yeah, this effect is great. So here's how you fix it. So what you're gonna do, going to go into your settings. And you're not going to go to the camera settings, you're going to go to your photo settings, because here is where it shows view full HDR, which is the whole high dynamic range thing. Sometimes your camera will also auto shoot in HDR. If it does, then go to your camera settings, turn off HDR, and that'll fix that. But the view full HDR thing, turn that off. Just turn that off, and suddenly when you load a photo and then it switches and then it gets all weird and grainy and pixelated and all kinds, it just looks like somebody threw it in a dumpster. That fixes that. And then if your camera does have a HDR setting that's just turned on, turn it off. If you open your camera and you like swipe down from the top and you see like an HDR thing, turn that off. If your camera has HDR anywhere, turn that off and suddenly your photos will be a lot better. If it doesn't have this on your camera and you just feel like sometimes it's weird when you're actually taking the photo, what I'll usually do is I'll just darken the exposure a little bit. I do find this kind of fixes it because also the iPhone, I think, overexposes photos. It makes them a little bit too bright. So just dragging that down a little bit on the little sundial thing that pops up, just tap, drag that sucker down, and suddenly your photos will start looking not like hot garbage. Nobody wants hot garbage photos. No, we don't want that. We are not in a dumpster fire. Your photos are not in a dumpster fire. And this way you can actually take photos of your friends and send them to them and be like, wow, these look great, as opposed to, wow, what did you do? What happened? Why does your photo suck? You suck at taking photos. Don't take photos of me anymore. Unless you don't want them to take photos of you anymore. In which case, turn HDR all the way on. Have fun. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned how not to make your photos look like trash. If you did, consider subscribing to join along this journey with me. As always, my friends, remember to work hard, rest often, and I'll see you on the next one.